In this upload, I'm going to show you how to become a long-term winner. Now, in an ideal world, you want to work with a value betting system, and I'm going to suggest to you Pinnacle Odds Dropper, and that's what I'm going to be using for this purpose. I'm going to explain how both newbies and senior professional gamblers can benefit from using this software and by doing what I'm about to suggest. To be a successful sports bettor, you will need to understand how betting limits work and how they could impact your betting accounts. Now, this is especially the case for advantage players, such as value bettors or arbitrage players and so on. The thing is, if you get this part wrong, your accounts are going to get limited very quickly, and we don't want that. I'm going to explain why this strategy is suitable for all levels, and I'm going to share the simple concept. So firstly, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be tracking the falling odds with Pinnacle Sports. Fortunately, this is what Pinnacle Odds Dropper does for you in milliseconds. Secondly, you're going to then be removing the vigorish, the betting juice that Pinnacle are taking, so you have benchmark odds that you need to beat. And on that note, the third part of the equation is you then get over to your sportsbook, and if you find better odds, you have got a value bet. So with all that in mind, let me talk you through how Pinnacle works, and then I'm going to start sharing with you some calculations that make it easy for you to understand why you will profit. It's really simple. The better the league, the nearer the game, the higher the limit, right? So let me just go through these, right? We're going to call high, which is like $10,000 plus. That would be like your EPL matches, your NFL, your sort of basketball, your NBA, and so on. Also, it's important to notice that they're going to be the main bets, the actual money line, the totals, and maybe the handicap. These are what we would call high limit bets. That's where you're going to get your money down. No interruptions whatsoever. You will be safe. The secondary leagues are like also match day, probably going to be a little bit sort of lower leagues. When I say lower leagues, I'm sort of referring to like English Championship, like Belgium Jupiler, maybe some of the Scandinavian football leagues. Also, some of the basketball, like college stuff, could also probably rise to that nearer the game, and so on, right? But they're going to be limits. You're going to be looking for at least sort of 2,500 in limits plus. Then you've got the sort of lower limits, the ones that sort of max out at like 500 to 1,000. These are ones that could get you in trouble, especially if you're betting early on in the week, when there's been a big price movement. That would stand you out like a sore thumb in the crowd. Player props, corner markets, bookings, and so on, right? They could also lead to sort of an early closure of your account or big limitations. And you should just know that, obviously, if you're in, say, the USA and you're betting an handball game in Hungary, then it's going to be, well, spotted by the bookmaker, and that could also get you close. So just bear these in mind if you want to get the most out of these betting accounts. On Pinnacle Odds Dropper, they have this fantastic tool, and it's actually showing you the limits, the current limits of a match or a game, right? So this is important because you need to understand with Pinnacle, the sharpest sports book in the world, the lines are moving according to the weight of money that's being bet. But more importantly, right, as the pool begins to swell, the limits start to increase. This is why nearer the match time, you're going to see massive limits. You're going to see up to 50,000 on a sort of top game, right? So this is what you need to understand about betting limits, because it's going to affect how you can bet with your sportsbook. At this stage, I just want to share with you a couple of visuals about the limits so you understand them a little bit better. If we just click on the game here, this is starting in 4 hours. You can see it's just like a U20 game. So that's why the limit here on the right hand side is just 750. If we actually go down to a game that's starting, look, it's starting in 17 minutes, and that's the Melbourne victory against Central Coast Mariners. We click on that, you can see the limit is now at 9,000. And if we scroll right down to when it started off, look at it, it started at 225. This shows you how the limits move over time, nearer the game as the pool swells, and that's the important thing to understand with Pinnacle Sports. You can do this literally with any bet, and it depends on the odds, of course, but there you can bet 4,500 at 6.86. So that's all you need to know about the limits. The nearer the game, the better the league, the higher the limit. To make your understanding easier, let me just quickly explain how you calculate the falling odds and the expected value. So you can see the screen for yourself, and if you look on the right hand side, you can actually see the drop value. So you can go down to this one, which I've got is 9.54%. right, if we actually go onto that, what we do is we take the actual new odds at 2.37 and divide them by 2.62, that is the old odds, and then you get the value of 90.458. And if we take that away from 100, we get, there it is, at 9.54. You could do that with all the odds, just practice it for yourself, but I mean basically that's just showing you the actual drop value. Removing the vigorish, right, so what we do, we're going to use this still frame. We're going to take Claire Lou. You can see that her odds dropped from 3.87 to 3.59. Now we can confirm that on the Pinnacle website itself. You can see, there you go, the 3.59, and we need our opponent's odds now to work out the vigorish, so we're taking the 1.315. Now if we go over to winner odds and we put them into the calculator, we're going to be using Shin because that's my preferred choice, and you can see now that the Clear Lou odds without any kind of vig are 3.86. Just to sort of confirm this, we go back over to pod and you can see there it is, 3.86, so we know that they've calculated it correctly. So now we go over to say Tipico, and what we can see there is that they're offering odds of 4. So if we take the odds of 4, which is over 3.86, we know that we've got a value bet, and to find the value we take the 4 and we divide the 3.86, and what we come up with is that our value on that particular bet is 3.63%. Now obviously you're going to get much bigger ones, but that's just give you an idea of what you should be looking for, right? So that's how you calculate the actual value. Let me tell you why I prefer Pinnacle Odds Dropper. Firstly, it's more efficient because it only benchmarks Pinnacle Sports. Other value software takes amalgamated odds. 2, it's extremely quick because it's fed through an API. If you're not logged into Pinnacle, you are getting fed the wrong odds. Number 3, the limit tool shows the value of the market. This will help you keep betting accounts open longer. 4, those on my mentorship program are using it as their preferred tool and all are reporting excellent results. And that leads me on to the number 5. From 100,000 drop-in odd bets recorded by clients, the mean CLV, closing line value, is 5.9%. The logged EV expected value is 6% and the actual yield is 6.24%. This is how you win at sports betting. And best of all, the price is low, the tool is efficient, you've got a 21-day money back guarantee. What more do you want? The process for profiting is as follows. First of all, you're going to need a betting account, multiple betting accounts. The more you've got, the easier it's going to be, line shopping. Secondly, I would definitely suggest that you learn to use these platforms, find the shortcuts, how you're going to get to the bet quickly. And to do that, you should really get more monitors on the game. Give yourself the chance, stay logged in to the betting account. Let me share with you some practical advice. The first one is settings might help newbies, but I would definitely encourage you to learn to think on your feet, right? I personally wouldn't bother too much with the settings, but if you want to check out, I did another video on that and I'll hang it on the end. Secondly, you've got to be realistic with expectations. By that I mean, do the maths, think about the number of bets that you're going to be placing, the stakes that you're going to be getting down, and the return on investment, right? Times that together, you should have what to expect each month in terms of profit. You've also got to think that paying for software is like going to a buffet. If you're hungry and eat a lot, you're going to get fantastic value. So with software, really use it, abuse it, put yourself out there, make sure you get the most out of it. If you are using third-party betting accounts, I would definitely advise you to cover your tracks, and that means that they can't see your IP. Banking, be careful with that, how you transfer monies there and backwards, and also think that your device can be tracked, so cover your. And a great way to get around everything is to bet near the start, right? Because the CLV, the closing line value, is harder to detect. So if you're sort of betting within sort of last 10 minutes before the actual game kicks off, right, you're probably probably going to get more longevity on your accounts. And you should also be thinking that a lot of the price changes come once the team news is known, when the teams are coming out on the pitch. So just bear that in mind, then I'm sure you're going to have a profitable career in professional betting. I just want to leave you with Pinnacle Dropper is a fantastic tool, and you need friends in this business, and Pod is going to be your best friend. So we hope you benefit from this video. It's value betting, of course, but this is how you're going to succeed. Even big time professionals, that's the way they do it. That's the way they get a lot of mass into their bets. So bear that in mind. That's it again. You're through to boot camp. We'll catch you in the next one soon. Take care. Bye bye.